Hello, everybody. This is Don Markland with Accountability Now, and welcome to the Morning Jolt, where we give you small tidbits of data, information, and inspiration to make better decisions today. It's a tactical podcast about making today better today. In C.S. Lewis's book, it's one of my favorites, The Chronicles of Narnia, the magician's nephew, the beloved character Aslan, he says, "O Adam's sons, how cleverly you defend yourselves against all that might do you good." And that quote, it's a great metaphor for what we do as sales leaders, as coaches, as leaders, as real estate agents, as entrepreneurs, as parents, in just probably about every single role in our lives. We put up walls in order to protect ourselves against those things that will do us good, while firmly believing that just because it causes us discomfort, we stand in need of protection. It's our brains. It puts up these silly defense mechanisms. We say things like, I don't have time, because we've overscheduled ourselves with things that we think are more important, or we've overstructured our mornings with things that we think are more important, or we say things like, I'm an introvert, or I'm shy, because we don't want to meet new people. And I've talked about this on other podcasts, but the simple fact is that these are excuses. And they're not true. They're the lies we tell ourselves to, quote, cleverly protect ourselves from the things that would do us good. Lewis was so smart to understand human psychology that those things that will do us the most good are hard to hear and even more hard to do. So take, for example, like the weightlifter that wants us to build strength or, lose weight on a treadmill or something, right? We have to do all that extra work. We have to lift extra weight. We have to do the hard things. So what does that have to do here on this podcast? Well, today I want to talk about building a team culture. Many organizations, they're starting to bring some people back to work, or they're doing some more creative things remotely. They're managing people remotely, and they're starting to look at their culture, and they're facing it for the first time or looking at it in a new way. Well, in the Oxford Handbook of Organizational Identity, it highlights 3 components of a strong culture. They are the team's view of the collective whole. Secondly, the individual and teams, how they're connected through ideas, concepts, and production. Or number 3, how they are valuable to their teammates. So you look at your culture and you think, well, how do I influence that? If we're working remote or we're working together in an office, how do we start to do that? And I want to speak to 3 things that you could do today to make a difference in your culture. And that's through building an identity, engage in daily rituals, and then have artifacts. And we're going to speak about artifacts even in a remote environment. So the first thing is have identity. Teams typically begin by developing an identity or something that members can connect with. And this is more than a vision. It's actually something physically that they can connect with. In geopolitical arenas, this philosophy applies with the common use of like a flag. You think about countries. They have a flag that they connect with. People recognize their country with their flag. And why is that? Because it's the identifying symbol of their country, of their people. Years ago, when I was a young outbound cold calling supervisor, I'm talking about when I was 18 years old, I took this same philosophy and I applied it to my young sales team. I named my team Don's Dragons, and we put up a flag in my little bay. And we had a team member, they were a little graphic artist, and they painted a green dragon on the flag. And this became our identity. We had our green days where everybody on the team had to wear the color green. And we all identified as Don's Dragons. We had a little call. We did our little dragon kind of movements. And all of us became Don's Dragons. We all ascribed to the Don Dragon mentality. That sense of being connected us. We all behaved a certain way. We all did certain things. We all ate lunch at the same time. That identity banded us together. That's the first part of culture. Have an identity. Have a symbol. It's more than a vision. It's a physical thing that they can connect with. Secondly is your daily rituals. Our success is largely determined by what we do every single day. This principle is true in a gym. It's the same in a waistline, and it surely is with your team. I don't care if you're in banking, if you're in sales, if you're in retail. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're working remote, all over the world, or in a small little office. Have a ritual. It will bring your team closer together, increase your camaraderie, and create connection when you have strong rituals. If you want to have more accountability as teammates, then have a ritual of sharing statistics and performance. That is not a sales mentality. You can do it with customer service. You can do it with customer response feedback. You can do it with everything. Show performance rankings every morning. Show customer feedback or testimonials every morning. Show optical stats if you're in the optical industry. Show banking statistics. I don't care. Assign people accountability partners. Build trust, but create a ritual where you do it every single day. Rituals govern our lives. Every morning you wake up. Every morning the sun rises. Let the rituals govern your business and watch what it does. And now third, artifacts. Cultures, as we've said, are defined by their symbols, languages, and behaviors. Create artifacts in your team's company or space. Or if you're working remote, put it in the backdrops. Send things to all the members of your team so you can see your business everywhere around the world or around the country. William Golding immortalized this concept in his book, Lord of the Flies. The conch symbolized authority and the right to speak. It became a symbol of the characters' identities. Other team environments embody similar examples. From a spirit stick at cheer camp to the game ball after a game. These are all artifacts that reinforce team loyalty and excellence. Think about that. I knew people in high school that got the game ball. I was never good enough to get a game ball, never even close, but I always wanted one. Nikki Hayes, he wrote this incredible book called Managing Teams, A Strategy for Success, and he explains that these types of artifacts and symbols connect individuals to an entire organization. So spread them out. You can do this in a remote environment. In your world, look to create your own version of traveling trophies, symbols in a doorway or bathroom, or different types of remote environments. It doesn't matter. Artifacts and their meetings create the strongest of teams. Don't resist that which will be beneficial to you and your teams. It takes active choices and disciplined work to create identity, daily rituals, and artifacts for your team, but this work will truly pay off. If you want more content, you can subscribe to this on Apple or Spotify. You can follow me on Forbes. You can follow me on Twitter at Don Markland or Instagram, executivecoach.don. You can check out my website, accountabilitynow.net, or as always, go to my digital marketing company, the best one in the world, 411 Locals. Folks, this is your Morning Jolt.